All right, it looks like we've got people coming in. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday, whatever day it is. Wednesday, I don't even know anymore. Um,
Wednesday.
welcome. A lot of fun stuff planned for you today. Oh, everybody's coming in. While we're letting it fill up, people want to share in the chat, where are you coming in from? How's the weather? I'm in Dallas, and it is very warm for no good reason right now.
I'm on West Coast, Canada, Vancouver area. It's cloudy as usual.
Ooh, we've got some snow and some rain. I love that. Excellent. Very, very fun. Well, thanks for joining us today. I don't know how much longer we want to give it for people to join. I know we were a little behind. Yes, this is being recorded, John. Yeah. All right. Well, if we want to go ahead and kick things off, does that sound good to you, Robbie?
Yeah, ready to
All
go.
right. Well, welcome to our just-in-time product update, where we're just going to go through some exciting developments with our QGuard tool. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kelsey. I have been with the company exactly 2 years today, so it's a very special day for all of us to be here together. And we also have Robbie here with us.
Hey everyone. Uh, Again, thanks for joining. My name's Robbie. I lead the product and design team at CyberQP. I'm closing on 2 years, Kelsey, so I think I'm 2 months behind.
Yeah,
But
we're neck and neck there.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, today I'm looking forward to show with you what my team has been working on, what we have released recently. I'll also give you a peek into what's coming over the next couple of months. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, and before we get into it, just so everyone knows, the most engaged here in the chat does win a gift card prize at the end. So encouragement for you to comment along, ask questions, let us know, your thoughts as we go through these things. So do we wanna, here we are. Okay, so we're gonna cover basically these three things today. Robbie, if you'd like to kind of go over each of them.
Yeah, I think it'll be more interesting when I when I show, but at a high level, we'll go over just in time. So maybe some of you are not familiar with what they are, how they work. Some of you may already be using them. So we'll do a quick demo for all of you so we're all on same page. And then we'll show what's new in just in time. And then I'll also share what's coming next. There's something really exciting there for just in time accounts. And then you would have noticed UI enhancements. So we have done ton of UI enhancements over the last couple of months, making the experience better, faster to navigate. So we'll go over those and see what those are. And again, what's coming for UI enhancements. We're not done there yet. And then finally, the third, we have improved some admin capabilities. I'll also show you that. So our aim is to like every couple of months do this and bring you on board on what's new. And it also gives us a chance to get some direct feedback. So as we go along, anything that comes to your mind, any question on any of the features, any request you have, please do share. We go through all of those.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, you want to cover the initial, what
Maybe,
is a just-in-time account?
yeah, Jared, maybe we go to the next one. And I'll quickly go over this and then I'll actually show you, and I think it would become more clear. So just in time would be a replacement for your shared admin accounts. And they add some more security, so they help you achieve zero standing privileges. So when they're not in use, they're not privileged. And then also there are four typical things that are involved, right? So there is a reason for why you would need just in time. So as the name says, it's just in time. So there's some reason, and now you need this account. And then there would be a time frame involved. Maybe you need it for an hour, for 4 hours, maybe for a day or more. So there is that aspect of it. And then what's the privilege? So least privilege principle of um, not everyone having a global admin every time, that maybe some actions or some roles don't require that high level of a privilege, and they could be a more tailored privilege for the action or the job you're trying to do. And then finally, privilege is removed when account is not in use, it's disabled. So it also meets the standard of like the zero standing privileges. So least privileges, zero standing, and not shared. So that's just in time we released last year, and we have been adding to it ever since. I think I'll maybe first do, as I said, a demo of how it works. And then we'll go over some of the enhancements that are already done and then what's coming next for just-in-time accounts. Okay, so maybe Jared, I can now take over and share my screen, and we'll actually do the demo. And again, any questions that come to your mind, any thoughts, please do share in the chat. And
Does look like we're getting a couple in there, so got good stuff.
yeah, maybe I'll first do a quick JIT demo. Maybe we'll pause and go over some of the questions at that point. Okay, so I hope you're seeing my screen here. So I'm logged into on production, one of the accounts. Fingers crossed, everything goes well. It's a live demo. So um, I have some customers here that I've set it up. And now I've already enabled just-in-time functionality for this tenant here. And if I go to the settings, you'll notice, or anyone who's a primary or super user should be able to do this for your account. So I have I've enabled the JIT accounts. I have some access levels set up. I'll go over those in more detail. Let's just go back and see how we use JIT accounts. So when I go into one of the customers, there's a just-in-time accounts menu. This would show up once you enable JIT accounts. And really the the way it works is, so I am an admin, so I see all JIT accounts, but I could only see credentials for 3 accounts here. So these are my just-in-time accounts. So I can access credentials, but as an admin, I do see all the accounts my team has. I can delete them, but I can't really see the credentials. So it's really per person a named account. So now if I want to access this server, um, the thing is so right now I can't copy password. This account is in disabled state. So there's the zero standing privileges. When I need it, I can enable. I specify the reason. So here I can link to a reference, a ticket. We do plan to add an integration to link a ticket. And then I choose a duration. So I need it for 4 hours. And then from here, I enable the account. Oh, that's because I was logged a long time back. Sorry about that. Let's
While
go
you're
in.
logging back in, so you're going through it, can anyone on the team create a just-in-time account?
Good question. So yeah, so no, so not everyone. So you first, when you go to the settings and when you enable the JIT account, um, you set the access, who on your team have access to these accounts. So for example, here, Office and AD, it's restricted to super and primary. And then the local I have set to level 3 technician. So this is a group of users I've created within. So only those people will have access to just-in-time accounts, and then only within the customers they already have access to. So yeah, you have full control over who can use it. So go back. Okay, so seems like it did get enabled. So the account I was going to use, so now it shows that it's going to expire in 3 hours. I have the credentials, so from here I can access the credentials and go use the account. And the nice thing about this is that I don't need to worry after 3 hours. What's going to happen is this account gets disabled and the passwords are rotated and its administrator privileges are also removed. So that's how, when you already have a Jet account, how you enable it. I will quickly show you how you create a new one. So this would be the very first time when you don't have any Jet accounts that you would create new accounts. So for that, I click on create account at the top. I'll select Office 365. And then again, I can add a reason. I can choose the privileges and I choose global administrators, um, and then create an account. So yeah, so it provisioned the new account, gave me credentials. It added it to the global admins. I can go use it. And again, this would get disabled after the time has elapsed. And again, I would be really able to enable it quickly for the next time.
Yeah, so we had a question come through. Can you disable the account early and not wait for the expiration? And that's a really
Right.
good question.
Yeah, so not right now, but it's something that's on our list to implement soon. Early disable. Um, yeah. However, we have added the ability to restrict duration. So that's one of the enhancements I'm going to show you. So you can choose that only maybe 1 hour or 4 hour durations are allowed. Because right now there's also I guess a 15-day duration, which is pretty long. So if you're worried about account being active for 15 days, I think you should just not allow that option and limit to the smaller durations. But we would work on early disable for this.
Makes sense.
So that's just for everyone who's not familiar with just-in-time, how they work. Again, if somebody else logs in who's not a super primary, they would just see their own accounts and they would not see accounts for other. But as an admin, I have the option to see other accounts and delete them, but I don't have the access to those credentials still.
And then
Okay.
just before you move on, sorry, what happens if the agent is offline when the expiration happens?
Yeah, so that's good question. So because we are owning enabling and disabling, so there may be scenarios that our agent is offline, and then there is this risk that we're not able to remove those privileges or disable that account. So the way we tackle that is that we also set an expiry at the account level. So when we enable or when we create an account, we set an expiration date on time on that account locally. So that would be on Active Directory or local accounts. So even if we're not able to make connection with the machine, the account would still expire
Gotcha.
and you won't be able to log in with that account. So that's a fail safe for those scenarios where we lose connectivity. Okay.
Cool.
So now let's go into enhancements that we've recently done. If you're following along our product updates, maybe you're familiar with some of these. Well, I'll show you. So the first thing we did was now you're able to edit these individual policies. Earlier, it was pretty restrictive where you need to fully disable or enable and then re-enable, and then you lose the data you had. But now you can change the policies here. So I can just edit this Office one. So let's do that. So when I added the just-in-time access policy for Microsoft 365, one addition recently, if you have noticed, is now we have duration option. This is what I was talking about. So we don't have early disable, but you could uncheck these longer durations and say, I want my team to stick to 1 hour, 4 hour, or maximum one day. And then I could uncheck some of the roles that are there. And then from there I can save it. So um, so the way that works, so that's for Office. Maybe I'll do one for the account that I haven't used so I can show you how this works. So let's see, Active Directory. So again, I uncheck these. Um, and then who has access? So this is where you define who has access to Active Directory J accounts. So I can go to login groups and I can choose groups. So maybe I want my engineers or level 3 technicians to have access to these just-in-time accounts. So similarly, I save it. I now uh, updated the access, um, and I also restricted some durations there. So let's see how that impacts your just-in-time usage. So now if I go to just-in-time accounts and I try to enable this, I believe this Active Directory, yeah. So I try to enable it, and you'll notice now I only have those durations available. I don't get an option to choose the longer durations. So if you set up JIT policy earlier, now you can go back and make it more restrictive. And the next time anyone's going to need the just-in-time account, they will only be left with those options there. So similarly, I'll add a ticket number, duration, and then click on enable. And similarly, this is my Active Directory account that I can go use. Similarly, for you can create on workstations, and there are also just in time, so they get disabled. Okay, so those are some enhancements for just in time that are already available, I believe to all of you. I want to show you a few things that we're working on. Oh, I guess we just got a new feature that we can also show. So this was going to be on my slide deck as what we're working on. So this is a global JIT menu. So earlier, as I was showing, you have to go into one of the customers and then see the JIT accounts, and then go to another customer and see just-in-time accounts. So this would be a global menu for JIT accounts. So show you account across all your customers. It's really helpful for admin work where you can see and then filter by a specific team member and see all the JIT accounts they have and be able to delete those here. So that's yeah, that's I think it's still in testing phase. It's enabled on my tenant. You may not see it, but it should be coming out in a week or so. Okay, I'll switch to my deck here to show you what's coming.
All right, and again, while you're popping over, can you customize the JIT alert notifications? That's another question through the chat.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, I have heard from few of you who uh, don't want to receive email every time a just-in-time account is enabled. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I believe that's what you're talking about. So for context for everyone, so every time a JIT account is created, enabled, we send an alert to the admins, so super and primaries, and telling them about the account that was enabled, why it was enabled, and what privileges were assigned. So it may get annoying, and some of you want an option to opt out or choose a separate email where you want all these alerts to go. Right now, I've been suggesting people to filter out those emails, but that's something that's on our list to implement in our alerts module to opt out of those alerts. So right now, it's not possible, but I keep hearing about it, so we'll work on it. Um, so what's coming? I'll go to passwordless MFA with JIT account. So I think this is where going to be very interesting for you all to use. I understand that it was convenient to use shared admin accounts, and JIT accounts need more work. for you to go enable them first and then use them, and then also to create separate accounts for all your tags. It was adding security, but at a cost of some productivity, one could argue. But I think passwordless is going to make it really seamless for you all to use. So I'll play a quick video and then we'll talk about that, how exactly it works. If you have any questions, you can post. So really how it's going to be passwordless experience, which does not involve you going to the dashboard, enabling it, or even uh, touching credentials at all. So it's basically an approval through a technician mobile app we're going to release in coming months that would make it really seamless. So I'll play the video and then I'll maybe elaborate and answer some questions. So I'm on okay, I lost there. Okay. I'm on a workstation where CyberQP agent is installed. And when we release this feature, you're going to get a new option on the login screen wherever our agent is. Could be server, AD server, local machines. So you get an option with technician sign in, and I'll play a video to show you how the experience would look like from there. Yeah, so that was quick video, went by fast. We want to share that you basically enter your CyberQP email on the machine. We that sends a push notification to your already signed in CyberQP app. From there, you see the request details, what machine it's coming from, and really in the background, it's going to use our just-in-time accounts. So an account would be automatically, if you approve it, would be automatically enabled, and then would be used to sign you in without you needing to enable it or even doing credential injection or copying the credentials. It would be passed through uh, securely from our services in the backend. So from your side, it's basically approving the sign-in request.
And we got another question in the chat. How does this work if they have Duo already?
Um, so I believe that's something we're looking into. I think you can opt out for some accounts. So this, as you see, when you get a push notification, you go through the biometrics. So it does just satisfy the MFA requirements. So you would not need Duo uh, or both enabled at the same time. So far, I think the way we have implemented it, it should not interfere. You may need to whitelist some of the accounts. Um, or the usernames where you essentially don't need to use the Duo MFA.
Okay, and then a couple more. How will this work with, or will this work with Office 365 as well?
So right now not for the initial release. The reason being the Office already allows you to use just in time in a passwordless manner. So right now, if you create Office 365 JIT account and then go sign in, you could enable passwordless with your Microsoft Authenticator. So it kind of works. So we're not focusing on that use case just yet. Um, but in future, potentially there are ways to even do that. Um, yeah, but right now, if you use Office with our JIT accounts, you should be able to use it with the Microsoft Authenticator push to approve. Okay, so that's one. So that's the big one. Our team's already working on this. I would say um, yeah, we're focusing on it. I have a tentative timeline. I think it's in next couple of months. So if you're interested in this, is something of interest, maybe put in the chat if you would like early access to this. This would be a very different way. We would definitely want to test it with some of you who are or uh, interested in early access for this. Okay, so I'll see how to go to the next screen. Okay, here I'm here. Yeah, global JIT menu. This is what I was going to show you, but seems like it just popped on my screen. As I showed you, this is a global list across all customers. Really easy for administration of these JIT accounts. Eventually, we're going to add more to this where you could even enable, disable, or create globally and not have to go to individual customers. Um, Next, the granular JIT policies. So right now, so this is really a request we've been receiving. Is maybe the top request is, I want different set of technicians to have different level of just-in-time access. So we're working on this one where you'll be able to define multiple policies for, say, Microsoft 365 or Office 365 for AD, and then choose a different combination of privileges and the the groups. So each person, when they go to use JIT accounts, have different combinations of maybe privileges, durations, those things. Okay, so that was the that's what's that's how what are just-in-time accounts, how they work, what recently we have released, and what's coming in the near future. There's a lot more to JIT. I don't want to essentially share things that are maybe beyond next 2 months. Maybe the next time we do this session, I'll show you other JIT enhancements that are planned after that. Next, I'll show you UI enhancements. So I'll go back to the dashboard. So I'll quickly go over these. So I think the biggest thing is this customer search at the top. So now um, you could easily search for customer globally, no matter where you are within the app, and switch to that customer. It was cumbersome earlier. You had to go back to this customer's list every time and perform a search there and then go. Now, even when I'm already within one customer, I could switch to another customer. So that's one. The other thing you would notice is recent customers. So we would show 10 customers you have recently accessed here. So you don't even need to type or search for anything. You could just switch to those customers from the top. So that's global customer search. And what's coming in future is we want to integrate account search globally here as well. So if you type in a username, it should be able to search across all customers and directly take you to that account instead of you having to go 2, 3 layers deep and find the account. Um, So, okay, so that's there. And then other thing you would have noticed are we recently released our table enhancements. So we're still working on those, but we've implemented a new table component. So few things that are already available right now. So this rows here. So earlier, if you would switch to 50 and then come back tomorrow, it would forget and you have to choose that again every time you come to that page. Now we remember that settings. So if you want a longer list like 50 to view, you select that and we'll save those preferences. So next time you come here, it stays the same. So it's really helps make it faster. Um, the other thing is now you can choose what information you want to see and what you maybe not find as useful. So I could uncheck a few things here. Um, and again, this would be saved. So this is your preference. As long as you're on the same browser, we're saving it locally. Um, and likely you're using the same machine every day. So it should remember those settings and show you only the information you need to see. So that's for end user admin accounts, even all the the table components mostly now support this. And of course, you could also now resize and all that. So this is possible with the new table component we're implementing. I want to. I think the biggest thing here we're moving towards is enabling a sorting and filtering. So I'll show you that's what we're working on right now. So our team's currently working on this. So this would allow you to have advanced filtering on all most of the columns that we have within our system. So expect this to be released for admin accounts first over the next little while, and then we'll go through all the other tables as well. So this would allow you to sort and filter by most of the columns that are necessary.
And then those customized settings, I know you said that they stay on the local station, but are those settings per customer or across all customers?
Good question. Yeah, so those are all customers. So, and that's likely going to be the case where when you're looking at admin accounts, no matter which customer you're in, there's some things you want to see and some things that are not useful. So yeah, it's not by customer, it's by account category. So end user, admin, J account, service account. So you could choose a setting and then that's what you see whenever you go to that menu, no matter which customer you go that in. Yeah, so it's just the design this our team's working on. I'm hoping in our next webinar we show you this. So really be able to filter easily on all the columns. We have some basic filters now, but there's a request, very common request to have more filters. And then the global agents menu, similar to what I showed for just-in-time accounts, where you see accounts across all customers in one list. Similarly, see all the agents deployed across all customers in one list. So you can easily find which ones maybe are offline or are outdated. Um, in general, you will see us moving more towards the global menus. So it's far easier to access information. That's one of the pain points right now. Yeah. Any other questions so far? Then I have just two last things I'll show.
I think we're keeping up with the questions mostly. I know we'll hit them all at the end just to be sure, but
Hmm.
nothing's
Okay.
come through yet, so go ahead.
I think we're almost done there. So, okay. So last two things, there are some admin capabilities we've recently added. So I'll quickly show you what those are. So the first one is if I go to the events and in the events log, now have an option to filter by a team member. So I could choose maybe Neil 5 and what they're doing. I'll show maybe from the beginning of the month. Yeah, so what this does is it filters and show you an activity log or event log for one person. So you could easily see what recent tasks they have done. So earlier it was painful. You probably needed to export it and analyze it in an Excel. Now you have this option. And then the second thing is related to our password vault. It's a small enhancement. So maybe I'll log out. This tenant is storing passwords with IT glue. Um, we also have an option for you to store passwords in our technician vault. So I have another tenant which is using that vault instead. And that new feature enhancement is to have the ability to export passwords for a selected customer. Earlier, it would export all passwords across all customers. Now, maybe you're offloading one customer and you can just export passwords for that one customer, or you want to back up those passwords so you have flexibility to export those. Again, this only applies if you're using our vault and not storing passwords with IT Glue or Hoodoo. Yeah, and I think that's all I had for today. Again, there are some really exciting things uh, coming up, especially passwordless. So well, as we go along, maybe in next month or so, we'll do another update and share progress there.
Excellent. Just a couple questions that we missed. I think we can hit on real quick. Can you edit the just-in-time settings without having to delete and reconfigure all the settings?
Yeah, so that's what I shared today. So now you would have an edit button for each directory. So you can go edit, add, or delete just one directory and not have to fully disable that. So that's already available to everyone.
Okay, perfect. And then can you enable the just-in-time accounts from within the PSA, like ConnectWise Manage, and then tie that reason to the ticket? I believe this popped up when you were typing in the ticket number,
Right.
and you talked about like linking is going to happen soon.
Yeah, so not right now, but that's something we see that in your workflow that would make the most sense. Um, Although with passwordless, um, when you service the ticket, you will go to a workstation and essentially that's where you start your journey from and you initiate enabling a JIT account from there. So yeah, in short, to answer your question, yes, we want to do it. It's not immediately available, but we have a few ideas that we're exploring how we can help you easily link tickets or enable JIT account from the pod itself.
Excellent. Two more. Jason asks, when will local admin functionality be made available to us? I don't know quite what was happening when this was asked.
Um, yeah, was it Jason? Maybe if you can elaborate, I'm um, not sure exactly um, what that. So for local admin, so right now we do support for, I think.
He just said he sees it's
Oh,
available now.
okay. Yeah,
Great.
okay. Cool.
Okay, and this last one, I think less of a question, more feedback. But deleting the JIT account from CyberQP does not delete the account on the end directory. So now they have an expanding list of stale accounts that need to be cleaned up. Do we have a solution or something in place for that?
So, so that's not how it should be. So right now, deleting an account does delete it from the directory. Um, so it's not intended behavior if you're facing that problem. However, if agent is removed, then we lose access to the directory, and then we're not able to clean that off. But yeah, so right now you should it will delete it from the directory if the whenever yeah if the agent is online. Um, it's again it's something on the roadmap for future is we want to provide an option where you can choose the inactive JIT accounts be automatically deleted. So say you choose anything that hasn't been used in 30 days should be deleted. Yeah, it's later down on our roadmap for JIT. Right now, if you manually delete, it should delete from the directory.
Excellent. That's all, I believe all the questions we missed during. So if anyone's got anything else, throw it our way now.
And while we're waiting for any last minute questions, I do want to announce the winner of our gift card, Ian McMullen. Thank you for being so engaged in the chat. That gift card will be delivered to you via email. And also on the screen, you all can see book a demo and receive 10% off of our solutions. This is a special offer that we don't offer all the time. This is something that you can only get for being on this webinar. So if you are not a CyberQP partner and are looking to learn more about us, or even sign up for our products, definitely scan that QR code and book a demo with us.
Yeah, thanks so much for spending some of your day with us. This has been fun.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Looking forward to the next one.